Hi, thanks for coming back to My Little Crafty Secret. For the March edition of Smash Our Stash, we are smashing upcycle items, unfinished products or projects, things of that nature, and I have a whole lot to share with you. About a year ago, I bought these knobs, I think back in April, and I wanted to make these, I don't know what they're called, but these things that you press onto your MISTI when you're stamping. So I decided to make them finally. My dad actually helped me out. I told him what I needed. Actually, he's the one that made them. And now I have those homemade items, things that you would use for your MISTI. I'm also sharing just my pamphlets that I've been wanting to make. I have these cut aparts and I want to make pamphlets out of them. This is a throwaway item. So once I'm done with it, or once whoever is done with it, they can throw it away, use it up. So I didn't really decorate or put too much effort into it, but I did thought it'd be really nice to create as a gift or even just for myself. I love these things, they're very easy to make. While I was trying to organize my scrap bin, my very large scrap bin, I found this and I didn't realize I even had it and it wasn't finished, it wasn't decorated, so I took it out. This is like a bonus for me. I took it out and I decided to decorate the front cover, and this is what I'm just showing here what it looks like on the inside. I did leave pockets in case I want to add more pictures in the future. That came out beautiful. I loved it. So if you had a chance to look at my pregame show for Smash Our Stash, I forgot to share this. I had cut, I don't know how many pages, it was a whole bunch of pages, pattern paper into 6x6 sheets, and I wanted to make cards, but that was going to be so many cards. I decided just to make more brag books, and these brag books, they're not the same amount of papers in each one of them, but there's a whole lot of sheets where you can just put just tons of pictures in each one. I love the way these came out. It just looks so cool with this craft color front and back cover, and then having the reefs on there. It's beautiful. I love it. So I did the same thing with this one. I just used pattern paper in this case, and instead of having a black binding strip, I just used that craft cardstock. I decided I didn't want to have a decoration in the front because I love that pattern paper. I thought it was just so beautiful on its own. Here's another pamphlet I had. I actually had the parts ready about a year ago, but I never stitched anything into it. So I stitched some things into it before even my pregame show that I shared this in, and I wanted to put some decoration, and that's what I did from the front. Next, I'll be sharing this larger album that I made. I made this a few weeks ago, and I didn't get a chance to decorate it. I just went with the little wreath in front, just like how I did with the other brag books. And that wreath, I love it, and I thought it looked really great. It's very simple, nothing too fancy smancy, and I think it's just fine. And I'm just showing what it looks like on the inside. This is beautiful, and I have actually, I think, two more that I need to make that I haven't. I've created it. I made it all the parts for it, but I haven't even put it together. Next is this album. I didn't finish it, but I wanted to share with you what I did. I still need to put a binding strip on the back on the binding. I did decorate it by putting pen and paper in the sheets there, the pages there. I'm just showing you what it looks like. I love this thing. I probably made this about maybe 2 years ago, a year ago. I'm not really sure. But one of my very first project shares about a year ago when I started this YouTube channel, I shared something very similar to this, this brag book or this album. So that's just one. I still need to finish it, but I just want to show you how far I've gone. Next, I have, again, if you saw the pregame show for this Smash Our Stash, I had made like a scratch pad out of these cardstock pieces, and I did because, not that one, that was a mistake, that was in there, but I did this because I don't really use Halloween paper, but I wasn't using that scratch pad, so I decided to make card panels out of them. So I made mini slimline cards and also made A2 size cards, which you'll see in a minute here. Now all of these cards, especially like these first ones here, I found like the panel in my scrap bin, and all it needed was either a sentiment or it was all finished, and I just need to put on a card. So that's what I did. And then you'll notice that I even have my scrap card panels I created for that first Smash Our Stash in here. I'm using that up because, you know, I made it to be a card. To me, that's a unfinished project. So I'm using that up too. And there's other cards in here. Again, either I, you know, put the panels together and it just needed a sentiment and needed to be put on a card base, or I had like the whole full panel already created. All it needed was a card base, and I didn't ever even put it on there. So I decided to do that for all of these, and I just love the way they all came out. I feel so great. I think I found about I don't know, maybe about 15 of these cards in my scrap bin, just needing to have a home basically. So yeah, I'm just wanting to show how I finish off the card. Now these are shaker cards. I in my pregame show, I had explained what was going on with these shaker cards. I was able to take them out of the envelopes, the seal envelopes. I switched out the inside of the card, and now I'm able to use these again. So I'm really happy I was able to save those cards. Again, oh, here are the those right there. Those first two, and then not this one, but the next couple. These were the scrap Halloween papers that I don't use. I had in that scratch pad, so I just made cards out of them. I decided to upcycle that scratch pad that I created and make the cards out of them. And these are just more card panels that I had created and I never finished the actual card. And then I was only able to finish some of my coloring that I wanted to do. I created that scene, that landscape, folk art landscape scene, and I never colored it, only partially colored it, so I decided to color it. I wanted to make a card of it, but I didn't get a chance to. But I did want to show you what I did. So that's the end of my project share. If you like this project share, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please also make sure to look in the description box below to see what the other collaborators have made this month. I hope you liked everything that I shared. It was a lot of work. Also, make sure to check out the pregame show to see where I started and where I ended. The link is in the description box below. Thanks. Until next time.